Football is awesome. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Friday Night Roots. I'm your host, Justin Thomas, and let's get into the video. Before we do that, do me a huge favor. Like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe if you can. Appreciate all the love you guys can give. Appreciate it. As you can see, I'm traveling for my day job again. I'm pretty exhausted. Woke up at 3 a.m. California time. I'm here in Texas. It's about 11 o'clock here in Texas. So, just tired, a little exhausted, but we're going to go ahead and carry on and do a video. So, as always, let's talk some ball. Just kind of wanted to jump on here and I guess do a what's next for the Buffalo Bills after that loss to Kansas City. Obviously, America was hoping for one result, and we just didn't get it, which is okay, though. Like, the Bills fought their ass off, and they tried hard, and it was still a great game to watch and a great game to get to witness. But, yeah, I mean, Buffalo lost to Kansas City again, marking their fourth postseason loss to the Chiefs in the last 5 years, including the 2020 AFC Championship game, and then the 2021 and 2023 divisional round games. So, yeah, it just sucks. It's another one of those Allen games that just stings. It's just you feel for the guy. Being in those situations is never fun, where just a team's got your number. But on the contrary, it's an amazing achievement by the Chiefs. So. Allen is now 0-4 in the playoffs versus Patrick Mahomes. Basically, and not only that, because of that, he set an NFL record for the most losses to a single QB in postseason history. So that one stinks for Josh, but we'll kind of get into throughout the video. I'm going to start with the bad and the negative, and then I'll kind of get into like where the Bills' focus should be for next year. So we'll start there. Comparison to past Super Bowl losses, for older Bills fans, this repeated heartbreak mirrors their 4 consecutive Super Bowl losses from 90 to 93. I mean, as a Bills fan, it's got to be gut-wrenching just getting so close and just not being able to get it done. But I think the Bills in the next few years will get it done. It's just a matter of when. I don't think it's a matter of if. I think it's a matter of when. But who knows? You never know. Who knows? Maybe Josh Allen retires as the best quarterback to never win an AFC Championship game or go to the Super Bowl or win a Super Bowl. Who knows? But crazy thing to think about and pretty negative. But I think they'll get there. But it'll be time. It takes time. I think they're right there. I think they're right there. Buffalo's progress this year, I mean, despite the losses, though, the Bills are close to beating Kansas City. I mean, they have a 4-1 regular season record against Mahomes and the Chiefs, including 3 road wins. So it's not like the Bills, it's not like the Bills are incapable of beating the Chiefs. They can easily beat the Chiefs. It's just, for some reason, when the moment shines the brightest, they can't beat the Chiefs. So, the Bills are right there. It's almost like tasting victory, but they're not. Every time they win in the regular season, it's almost like the Chiefs let them, and then they go to the postseason, and the Chiefs are like, oh, we want to win. It's like, what? Crazy, but all the postseason losses, too, have been extremely close. The Bills' recent playoff losses to the Chiefs have been decided by very narrow margins, including the overtime heartbreak in 2021 and a missed field goal in 2023. I mean, the Bills are right there. I mean, and even the other night, they were right there. I'm not going to go over the game again. You kind of know how it ended, but man, it just felt like the Bills were 1 or 2 big plays away from winning that game. But on the contrary, it kind of always feels like they're only 1 or 2 wins away from, or 1 or 2 big plays away from winning each game they play with the Chiefs. So we'll see. And of course, they decide to win in regular season, which is weird. Just a super narrow margin of difference, I'd say. The team's played 9 times since 2020, with the Kansas City leading 5-4 in that. And the combined score is just 245 to 240 in favor of the Chiefs. I mean, that's how close this matchup is since 2020. A 5-point differential between all the games they've played since 2020, 245 to 240. Now that is a fucking stat. And that just shows you like how close the Bills really are. I mean, they're that close and they just can't do it. And Patrick Mahomes is just being Patrick Mahomes. Andy's being Andy. Spags being Spags. I mean, the Chiefs are just one of those just one of those teams that you can't beat. So, um, you know, obviously not a replicate repeat of the '90s Super Bowl losses. Unlike the Super Bowl defeats where Buffalo lost by multiple scores, these playoff games have been substantially closer than those '90s Super Bowl losses where they kind of just got smashed out. But I mean, they're substantially closer games, so it's like, come on. I mean, I'm gonna beat a dead horse here, but it's like, gosh, man, it's so close. You feel so bad, but I'll give the Bills this. They have resilience. I mean, they remain competitive with Kansas City and are not far from overcoming the Chiefs. I think the team is definitely committed to improving and finding a way to get over the playoff hump. But I mean, right? Every year those players get older. Every year they've been in the league longer, right? And the longer unfortunately, the sad reality of the sport is it's a young man's sport. So after a certain amount of time, I mean that's it. So clock's ticking. I think they still have plenty of years with Josh Allen, but keeping those main core guys together are always a key. Yeah, I think Coach Sean McDermott too. I think he shares a lot of optimism. I think he emphasized. Well, I listened to his press conference, and he definitely emphasized the need to keep working, and said the team will figure out how to overcome the Chiefs. But to me, I agree with him. But after this many matchups, it's like in the postseason you got to win one of them. Like, how have the Bills not won a single one? Explain that to me. No one can kind of explain it. It's just like when the moment's the brightest, the Bills just haven't been able to get it done. So, and that's just the way I see it. So, what's next for the Bills? Now that we've kind of established all the exciting facts and stuff, what's next for the Bills? I think if you just based on what the Bills have now, offensive strengths, Josh Allen, Spencer Brown, Deion Dawkins, James Cook, who also James Cook led the NFL in rushing touchdowns. Plus, he had 1,000+ yards. So, I mean, awesome, awesome key players. Their receivers, they got Khalil Shakir, Dalton Kincaid, Keon Coleman, Dawson Knox. I mean, these guys are on contract and are going to be in the building for at least another year. Huge, huge key pieces and things I think to build on and look forward to. Defensive concerns. Matt Milano's awesome. I think he's like right up there with Fred Warner and Roquan Smith and Patrick Queen if he just doesn't get hurt. I mean, he's been battling significant injuries all the time. I know DeMar Hamlin's a free agent, and Rasul Douglas is a free agent, so that's going to leave a big gap if they don't end up getting him re-signed. Christian Benford and pass rushers AJ Epinenza. Am I saying that right? Epinenza. I'm close. And Gregory Rousseau, Ed Oliver. So they're going to all return, which is awesome. So I think that'll be a huge plus to the team. And when it comes to, and I also wanted to do a little research today before I recorded this on their draft picks and cap situation. The Bills do hold the 30th overall pick, 2 second-round picks, and an additional 4th-round pick. They have $7.2 million over 2025 in cap. Restructuring contracts could free upwards of $50 million. But I'll say this, in the least, the Bills front office has some work to do. 7.2 isn't going to cut it, unfortunately, but salary adjustments, rolling cap down the road, could open up close to 50. It's risky, right? If the Bills feel like they're in their window, go max out that 50 if you can. But if they don't, save it, kind of keep kicking the can down the road till you feel like it's your year, and then boom, go all in. Not the Jerry Jones kind of all in, the actual all in. I think some of the potential player departures, some of the players that will probably end up leaving, I think that includes DeMar Hamlin, like I said, Rasul Douglas, Mac Hollins, Amari Cooper, and others. I just don't see those guys sticking around, especially Amari Cooper. He just hasn't been delivering as much as everyone probably thought he would. Offseason priority number one, bolstering the secondary. I mean, get help around Christian Benford. The secondary struggles, and they just got absolutely exposed against Kansas City. So I think they just need to lock that in. I mean, Stephon Gilmore and Marcus Williams, they're veterans that are going to be free agents. I say, hit up Stephon Gilmore, hit up Marcus Williams, see if these boys want to come over hang out with the Bills. All I'm saying is the Bills are a good franchise. It's a lot of people. I'm sure free agents wouldn't have a problem, you know, running over to the Buffalo. I mean, why not? I mean, it's kind of cold, but I think the draft options included a quarterback this year. I don't know a whole lot about college, but um, Revel Jr. and Benjamin Morrison, I've heard some things about them, so that could be on their radar for this offseason. I'd say offseason priority number 2, definitely going to be the wide receiver room. Amari Cooper has been, like I kind of just touched on, rather disappointing. I think he's struggled to provide consistent WR1 production. I mean, he's only averaging 2.4 catches per game, which is just, for his level of athlete, is just not right. It should be more. Um, I think they need a veteran route runner, not a receiver, a route runner, someone who runs beautiful routes and in turn, because of those beautifully run routes, gets open. I'm thinking DeAndre Hopkins, Keenan Allen, maybe even a bring back Stephon Diggs. I don't know. Just something, right? Just something to kind of fluff it up a little bit. And then I think, to kind of end it for the or for the defensive line, I think their line depth has struggled. I mean, they were strong against the run, but they do have some really aging players on the defensive line. Daquan Jones is 33. Free agents include Jordan Phillips and Austin Johnson. So, there are options out there in order to rebuild this team. I think they just have to go do it. I think draft options, to replace those potential targets, Tyleik Williams, Walter Nolan, Kenneth Grant, just some bigger names in college football that I think would be obviously a great fit there. Overall, the Bills are, I'd say, a fairly well-run program, and I think they're pretty respected in the NFL. I know after the 90s, they were kind of a joke for a little while, but now they're back. They got a key franchise guy who's probably never leaving until he retires. Same thing with Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. Not going to leave until he retires. Yeah, the Bills don't have an enormous amount of cap space. They don't have an enormous amount of, I'd say, they don't have an enormous amount of just like money lying around. But contrary to that, here's what the Bills do have. They have a record of winning. They're going to lose some free agents too, but they have a record of winning, so I think that draw a lot of free agents in. Like, hey, you may not, win the Super Bowl your first year, but we'll get to playoffs. We'll go deep in playoffs, and some of these players in the NFL don't even get that opportunity. So if I'm a player who's on the fringe and the Bills are calling, I'm going. Like, pay me what you need, I'm going. I'll actually get an opportunity to go play in the postseason. So I don't think they'll have any problem filling the roster. The cap space is going to be a little tricky. Their front office is going to have to do some gymnastics to kind of figure that part out, but that's not uncommon in this league. So, I think overall the Bills had a great season. I think they're at this point. I mean, what else? I feel terrible for Josh Allen. I think America feels terrible for Josh Allen. But at the end of the day, the Chiefs did win that game, and refs aside, the Bills did lose that game. And I'm not going to sit here and pretend like they won that game fair and square. I think the Bills played a good fight, but I just don't think either way the refs made a huge impact on that game compared to the last, Chiefs game. So I don't know. I feel for the Bills. I know. Here's what I do know about the Bills. They'll be back here next year. They'll be ready to rock and roll. Josh Allen will be ready to go. And who knows? Maybe next year's the year, assuming Kansas City doesn't get better. That'll be interesting to see because the wide receiver room, Rashee Rice is back, assuming he doesn't get charged with leaving the scene of an accident. So we'll figure that out too. But anyway, just wanted to come on here, upload this quick video, kind of lay the groundwork for what the Bills could look like next year. And then I'll probably I'm still traveling tomorrow, but I'll do another video tomorrow. I'll figure out something to talk about. So appreciate it as always, guys. And do me a favor before you leave, like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe if you can. Appreciate all the love I can get. And as always, love ya.